Heyo! My name is Sarah, and today I will be doing the book review to the fourth installment to the Fallen Angel series. That's right! Rapture by J.R. Ward. I love this cover. It's so pretty. So pretty. Non-spoilers. Do I really need to say how many stars this book deserves? I don't think so. This book's main characters is Mel's, who is a reporter for the Caldwell Journal, and Matthias, yay! For those who are like, I don't like Matthias. Well, I do. He deserves a redemption story, and here it is, with a new cover. So, non-spoilers, takes place back in Caldwell. Matthias returns from hell, but Mel's accidentally hits him with a car, and he gets amnesia. Fun. The shady organization is back. Very bad. Of course, Davina the bitch is playing her key role in this round of the game, and Adrian and Jim are back. And they have no clue who's the next player in this game until they find out who. So, yeah. Again, it's like 502 pages. It's a big book, right? But it goes by so fast. It's like really a 3-day span. I'm like already halfway out of the book. I was like, I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end. So, yeah. 4th book and the 6th book series of the Fallen Angel series. Again, I really don't need to tell you how many stars this deserves. Matthias and Mel's. Little Easter eggs here and there from the BDB world, unless you're paying attention. And yeah, it just gets intense in this book, people. So, yeah. Rapture by J.R. Ward. So, yeah, check it out. And that's as far as we'll get into non-spoilers. So, bye, non-spoilers! Wow. Spoilers. Okay. First thing right off the bat. We don't really see Nigel the douche. Thank you! Because you people who don't know this, I really hate, despise, and want to destroy Davina, and Nigel the douche is just always on my nerves, always playing by the rules. So we just get one cameo, like full interaction with him, and just like a couple of little pass-bys, but besides that, thank you. I really don't like him that much. So yeah, that's as far as I'll talk about that Archangel. So yes, Mel's works at a certain news article place, and she's been there for a couple of years after her father passed away, and then she moved back in with her mother to take care of her mother in a way, even though the mom doesn't need it. And so she's leaving work late and stuff. She's passing by a cemetery. Matthias walks in the middle of the road and yeah, not so good. So as I said, Matthias returns from hell, wakes on Jim's head on his grave, and he remembers all that happened with him in hell. But when he gets hit by the car, it goes clean slate right there for him. So first 50 pages in this book. Okay, so for those of you who know Fluffy, it's like, Sarah, why are you bringing up Fluffy? I will get you it. Remember how he said that he realized that there were now 6 levels of fatness? It was I believe big, healthy, husky, fluffy. Damn! And hell no! And people would be like, why are you bringing this up? I will get to it in a second. So Mel, she's at the hospital after hitting Matthias, and so she wants to go check on him. She goes up to the upper levels and asks the receptionist, hey, the guy that was brought in here earlier with me, what room is he in? She's like, his room is 666. Damn it! She goes in to see Matthias and his banged up stuff. He's got the scars. He's got one working eye. He's got a limp and everything from everything. And he doesn't remember who he is or his past and everything. I'm like, damn it! And then all of a sudden, a nurse walks in. I repeat, this is the first 50 pages. A brunette, beautiful nurse walks in, and Matthias is thinking, why do I have the urge to get the hell out of here? That's where I went like, hell no! So, Fluffy running through my mind on that one. I'm literally going, hell no! And if I was in there, the door's getting ready to close and smell leaves, I rush in there. No! Grabs Davina's purse. No! And hangs it outside of the window. And I'd be like, step away from the man, or your purse is doing its first flying lesson. Davina, you would... 2 fingers on the strap! 2 fingers on the strap, bitch! 1 step over and it's going, woo! She already planned that game 50 pages into this book. I'm like, no! No! Davina. Turns out, previous books, she has a therapist who's actually helping her with her OCD, because we find out during one session she is continuously counting how many lipsticks that she has in her purse, even though she knows the exact number. So she's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13 of the same color, from the same brand, from the same company. So, why do I bring this up? Well, I would be changing the little lipstick tubes and switching them, so she thinks it's the same one, but then she gets like a purple. Haha, bitch. So yeah, I don't know why I just wanted to bring that up. So yeah, Matthias has amnesia, meaning he doesn't remember anything except from getting hit by the car. And Mel's thinking he might sue her or anything. He actually asks her for help, trying to figure out who he is, because he goes by the license that he has, and he knows it's not his place. She helps him look it up, and it's just like, trying to work as a team, people. How does Jim come into this? Well, because Nigel, the douche, really wasn't, very helpful in the last book, saying who we're going to meet again. He's like wondering, okay, I got so many enemies, who is going to come back and bite me in the ass? So he is doing target practice outside while Adrian is inside with Dog. And then a taxi cab comes up. Matthias, and he's like, I need a smoke. And Matthias is like, you're Jim, right? It's like, what the hell are you doing here? He's like, were we friends? Jim is like, through this whole book, what happened to the Matthias that I knew? Because this guy wouldn't care for anything about a person. He would just use them as an asset and just get rid of them if they no longer have any use. And here he is asking, are you my friend? It was like, oh my lord. So, turns out, during this whole book though, Davina, who's being a bitch that she is, figures out how to get both into Adrian and Jim's head. For Jim, she's killing people by first getting them to dye their hair and doing it straight, and then slashing their throat and doing the little spooky voodoo symbols on their stomachs. Well, that's just to get into Jim's head, because they look like Sissy. And I bring this up because Mel's, one of her co-workers, is doing an article on these killings, right? So they find out that a prostitute was killed looking the same way, but she had like weird markings that were healed in a way. And so they're just like throwing it under like a regular, murder, but a sleazy cop takes a picture of what actually happened. So Mills is very concerned about this, right? And so she has a friend, Tony. I like Tony. He's awesome. He has all these cool connections, people. He knows someone in the hospital department. He knows someone in the police department, which helps out Mills, because she kind of helps out with this murder going on, right? Well, because of this, and she somehow gets a connection, and she goes back to check on Jim. And so, I'm not Jim, Matthias, and that's how she meets Jim for the first time. She picks up a shell casing, at the same time puts it in her pocket without Jim knowing, and he erases her memories in a way, and that's how we see Matthias going all protective over his female, and Jim is still like, and so while Matthias, he gives Matthias like a hotel room, and they talk again after Mel's leaves and everything. And we get attacked by the shady organization, people. And Jim kills him. They don't get to clean up the area because the cops are already on their way. Thus, going back to Mel's. So this person who I mentioned who's doing the article, and so, we're thinking there's a connection to this. But then Tony, who's also doing an article, notices how that, there's the body of the operative goes MIA, goes whoop. But there's this creepy tattoo, right? And it has a tattoo of the Grim Reaper, as all the shady organization people have, and Mel tucks that information away. And the shady cop that gives her the the pictures of the tattoo carvings, she and Tony go with that and the copy of the autopsy of that, and they go down to the hospital with Jim tagging along because he's all invisible. And that's where Davina starts getting crafty. When I mean crafty, I mean sloppy, because she realizes that Matthias is being a good little boy because she paid him a visit, helped him get back some of his bad memories of what he did to his daddy, and she knows that Mel's is going to get in the way of things. So while Mel's and Tony are at the hospital, there's some construction going on. Jim is there. They find out that it's kind of difficult to tell if this picture that was taken by the cop is authentic. And those long lights that are hanging on the ceiling and everything? Well, half of that, and the ceiling comes, woo! Right to Mel. Jim jumps away. He looks up. He's like, damn you, Davina, because he sees her possessing a construction worker. And then she leaves and he falls down to the ground. Really, Davina? So much? Nah, I wouldn't suspect there were some evil forces going on around here. Well, Matthias doesn't like that very much, but he's glad that Mel's is okay. So, Davina's killing people out to make him look like Sissy, to get Jim, and I did not get my miracle in this book at all. Eddie does not come back at all, but he gets like a little cameo appearance because of what Davina does. So Adrian is asleep. He's having a dream that he's with Eddie back at the Iron Mask, and they get a girl, and they're gonna do their thing and everything, and Adrian thinks this is all real, that Eddie never died. And then Eddie shows up in his angel form, telling Adrian to wake up. I'm like, oh no. And then you hear a snide remark, and Adrian looks over, and it's Davina in his dreams, manipulating it. And of course Eddie saves Adrian, but then he wakes up screaming like, Davina, that just crosses the line. I know you can start messing with Jim, because she goes a little further into messing with Jim, but not Adrian by using Eddie. No. And how she gets to Jim. So Matthias, who is with Jim and Adrian, him and Adrian become good buddies, by the way. They get attacked by another operative at Jim's place. And so Jim, realizing this is a decoy, leaves Adrian and Matthias to handle the operative, which they easily take care of. And they do a nice little dumping business, which makes Adrian and Matthias, great friends. I could see them going along with each other. Jim goes all the way to where Mel's is, because she's supposed to be meeting someone to get more information on what's going on from the sleazy cop. But it turns out it's Davina in the form of the cop, and she knocks Mel's into the river and starts drowning her, right? And so that's death attempt number 2 in 24 hours. And so Jim shows up, he starts strangling the bitch, and I'm like, yes, a little tighter. I was like, no. She gets away, ghosts right through Jim, making him sick, but Mel's manages to get up onto the dock. She calls Matthias and tells him Jim's not okay and everything, and they go back to the hotel where everyone can get a little bit of rest. Jim gets okay and goes to confront Davina. Well, dude, you're playing right into her hands. And she knows she wants him. She knows he's angry, and she wants to get him so angry, right? And so she knows how to play this game. She brings up Sissy, and then her words, right when she says her name is Sissy, right? And then after that, boom. Jim even admits after that little session with Davina that he's now like hollow, very hollow. That Davina basically took everything that he was and just left him with nothing. So she's in Adrian's head. She makes Jim feel like just going through the motions now. It's like, she is a parasite demon for a reason, but I'll get back to this, how to get very even with her, because apparently my little tricks with her OCD isn't working. So while Jim is doing that with Davina, Adrian, even Jim says that Eddie would have been proud of what Adrian did, because he actually cares about Matthias now, and he cares about Matthias and this woman, how he feels how sad that Matthias can't exactly service his woman because after getting blown up and all parts not exactly working, he takes Matthias's wounds, physical and other, and transfers it to him. So Matthias no longer has the scars mostly. His eyes are working perfect now. His lip is gone. It's like everything that he wasn't made whole of him, he's now whole again. And it's like a miracle. A miracle. So that makes me worry about Adrian. Now he has all these weaknesses on him. How is that going to help him during the war for the next round against Davina? I'm like, he's going to be okay, right? So it's like, Mills and Matthias have their night together because she knows that he's going to bail. And so he's slowly getting his memories back. But the way how he gets his entire memories is heartbreaking. Because as they're getting dressed and everything, with Mills notices the tattoo on his back, right? And she notices how he has the same gun that the casings were matched with who killed the operative down at the same hotel, right? And she just freaks. She gets the wrong interpretation of that, the Grim skeleton, the Grim Reaper on his back, and she automatically assumes he's the killer. She freaks out and leaves, and that just breaks Matthias's heart. I'm like, no, stop judging people just because they have a creepy Grim Reaper tattoo with a bunch of tallies on them. It's like, but Matthias's crossroad eventually comes up, but first he believes that it's somehow, he believes he can redeem himself by giving Mills every single detail of the organization that he built from the ground up, right? He puts it on the little flash drive. He gives it to Mills, even though she says she no longer wants to see him again. And so he patiently watches her at her house as she goes through all the information. Like, he gave her the scoop of a lifetime that will set her up and everything, right? And he's getting ready to leave. We see a cameo of Nigel walking the wolfhound, but he doesn't do anything else. He just tips his hat and continues off. And so Matthias is getting ready to leave. Okay, he's getting ready to leave. He gets in this rental without knowing Adrian's with him. He starts driving, and something pops in his mind. He hits the brakes. He forgot to identify Jim's body, people. That's why. That's why the operatives have been coming. They have been coming after Matthias. Matthias just happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. They were after Jim. I'm like, oh. So Matthias turns back around, speeds across town, and Jim is at his place with dogs just minding their own business. And here comes the car. Matthias jumps out, and Jim's like, what the hell are you doing here? And Matthias goes all like, dude, I forgot to identify your body. The operatives were after you this whole time, not me. You need to get out of here right now. And Jim is like, why are you warning me? Because, like, dude, I know we're even everything, but you're like my friend, and I'm just here to warn you that the operatives are going to keep coming after you because I forgot to identify your body as real. And Mel's about to break the story, and I just want you to get as far away as you can as possible. Jim, you wouldn't have done this before. It's like, I know, I'm a changed man and everything. I just want to do right. It's like, redemption! Yay, Matthias, you just redeemed yourself. 2 ways, and about to become a third. So Mel shows up. She figures where she can find Matthias. She confronts him, but he says, I love you and everything. I want everything for the best of you. And Jim and Adrian, who's invisible, they're not paying attention to their surroundings. They're just watching this lovey-dovey reunion. There's another operative in the woods. He takes 2 shots. Matthias pushes Mel's out of the way, and he jumps in front of Jim and takes the bullet. I'm like, no! You just died and came back from hell! Don't die! Even though Jim knows that they won this round, he can see Matthias' soul going off to heaven. No! Mills is crying, breaking down, but Jim's saying the best way to honor Matthias' memory is doing that report and everything, and she leaves all broken-hearted. He's like, screw you, Nigel and the guys in the clubs, because they want to bring him up to see a new flag and everything. He's going to do right by Matthias by finding a proper place to bury him. He picks up the body, and the body's all like limp and stuff, and then you all of a sudden, Jim, oh crap, drops my head! You're alive. You're alive. I think I need to take all 10 cigarettes right now. And Matthias is like, yo, the creator sent me back. Damn it. I'm thinking, is he going to join? Is Matthias going to join the games? I was like, no, he chose not to go into the castle across the mountain. And the Maker talked to him. And he told Matthias to send back a message down to Jim saying that he's all cool with Jim and his free will. He's like saying, thank you for the turkey subs. It's like, what? So Matthias helps Jim and Adrian move into a creepy mansion that's like, isn't neighbors to some certain people after winning this round. And when Jim's talking to the dog, it's like, you know, I know what you want. You want a turkey sub. It's the creator dog! It's the creator dog! Right? Really? What is it with deities and taking forms of animal pets that are interactive in this world? So, again, 2 weeks later, like the other epilogues, Matthias shows up to Mills, kind of happy that she's okay and a little surprised that she gave the report to someone else and everything, but she's going back to New York to start her life again. Her mama can take care of herself and everything, and she finds out Matthias is alive. And they're gonna get their happily ever after. Dog's just escorting Matthias back to Mills so he can get a little turkey sub again. How we end this book on it's like a sour and sweet note. Matthias and Mills get their happily ever after, but Jim's not okay with how the creator brought back Matthias. He goes down to Davina, who's sulking as always, into hell, and she's like, are you here to gloat? He's like, I'm offering you a deal. And she's like, I know how that turned out last time, huh, bitch. But Nigel and the guys don't know this, but Jim took a flag. He's offering to trade it for Sissy! Jim! Are you not looking at the end game here? If you win the next round, all those souls in the Wheel of Souls goes up to heaven. Sissy goes up to heaven. But no, you're willing to do your leave 3-1 to 2-2 just to get one soul? I'm sorry, but that's a little stupid, man. That's not gonna go well at all. So like I said, it ends like a bittersweet note. So Easter eggs! Okay, so we meet a certain jerk at Mel's office who's the boss. And you know, he sounded a little familiar. Am I thinking, do I know this person? And Mel's happens to have a mug that was left by the person who owned her cubicle last time, and then this woman just mysteriously disappeared. The mug belonged to a Beth Randall. Are we seriously not going to address this? Beth Randall? Really? Dark Lover? First book to the BDB series? No one brings this up again? I guess not. Easter egg 2. And this is like very, very observant people. Like, I just read over this. I don't even remember this thing. A Range Rover drove by. We know certain someone that favors some Range Rover. Like, Sarah, that's just a random Range Rover. It is not. I'll go for that. And remember how I said I would get back at Davina because my little tricks with her OCD is not working? Well, Jim and Matthias were walking one night and they passed a group of guys. And the leader of this group had a disfigured lip and he glared down at Jim and continued walking off. This would be me because Davina the bitch, being the bitch that she is. Car, can I borrow your scythe for a moment? Davina! We see the band of bastards! Like, sir, that's barely even a paragraph. I don't care! We see Cor and his boys! But that explains how Throw has a connection to the book. That makes a ooey floating balloon that kills people. Either way. Yay! We're getting closer to a crossover. I can feel it in my bones. So yeah, I did not get my miracle for Eddie's resurrection in this book. I better get it in the next book. Jim and Adrian are slowly at the mercy of Davina because she is psychotic, mentally getting into their minds and having her way. Jim, what the hell are you thinking about giving up the flag? I hope Adrian is able to fight with his new wounds and everything. Is Dog the creator? Because if he is, I'm gonna need to hold that puppy by the scrubs. Like, hey, we need to talk about these stupid rules of yours. So, are we gonna get some more references to previous books to certain characters because we're still in Coswell? Who knows? We know. So yeah, 4th book to the Fallen Angel series. Do I really need to give out how many stars this deserves? So yeah, this was Rapture by J.R. Ward. I really love this color. It's so pretty. Probably part of a different art, but I like it. So pretty. So yeah, my name is Sarah, and bye.